Morning, good morning. I'm just getting myself set up. Give me one moment. I promise today I will not have problems. The only problem is going to be that my furnace will be on a whole lot today. It is cold out. Let me just get my smock on and get my stuff turned on here. Here we go. Welcome. Just saw it. There it is. That's the one. All right, let me get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. All right. Good morning. Good afternoon to you. If you're from somewhere else, maybe. Good evening, maybe. So, I am up and running. I'm going to start painting this silver today. I'm excited, but this is where we start getting into some real detail. I'm going to wait to do the wood because I know that's really wet right now, and I don't want to mess with it while it's wet. I want that to dry, and then I can start putting more detailed layers on top of that. So I'm gonna go and paint. Let's see if the background is dry. I see some dry spots, like up in the very corner here is, no, that's still wet too. So that gray is all still wet from several days ago. That's kind of how it goes. So welcome if you're just joining me, and let's just get started. Let's see. So I've got my paints here. Let me fix that camera a little bit. Well, I guess it's not bad. Yeah, I guess it's fine. You can see the whole thing. That's what matters. All right, let's get the oil out. Just get stuck sometimes. It's okay. I need my turpentine to clean with. Am I getting low there? Maybe not. Oh, and I need to get rid of top on that. All right, I'm going to try to save this piece of plastic. I always try to cover my paints if I can. And I love to save this plastic if I can too. I don't like to throw stuff away that's reusable. And that, as long as I don't crinkle it too much, it'll still be reusable. All right, so we're gonna, believe it or not, we're probably going to stick with a lot of these grays and even some of these browns that I made. So we're talking about reflections, right? So everything that's in the box is essentially getting reflected onto the silver here. So all that gray, some of the liquor in here, and the wood down here is all going to get reflected into there. The one thing that is addition to that is anything directly in front of it is also going to get reflected. So my face will obviously get reflected into it eventually, so we've got to deal with that. And let me put the model up in the corner so you can see it. So that's what we're working with, and I guess let's just get started. I've got my brushes here, and boy, do I break out the big brush. I might. So this is my really nice brush. This is a Winsor Newton Series 7. Let me show you that. So the Winsor Newton Series 7. So I'm a little corny, I know, it's a little geeky. I keep the box because it's just kind of pretty. It's got this little magnetic box that it comes in, and this is the Winsor Newton Series 7 brush. Very pretty looking brush. I don't know. It's like something out of Harry Potter or something. You know, this is my wand. It's so silly, but expensive brush. Very expensive brush. This is real sable brush. I'm gonna put that to the side. I always keep the tip on. This is a number 6. Now, you might be like, well, why are you using a number 6? This is, you know, we're starting to get into some detail. I can get a super fine point on this, and I can also get really wide with this. So it's a very versatile brush. I've painted entire paintings with this brush. So anyways, let's just move on. I'll clean that off. And hopefully my paint from a while ago is still looking good. Hopefully that's still wet over here. And let's just get started. So let's take a look real quick. Here's where we are. And I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. So we'll see how far we get up here. I'll work dark to light, probably. Should I work light to dark? I don't know. I don't know if it matters. Some things I might do out of order. We'll see. Yeah, I'll probably work dark to light, I think. Just evaluating where I'm at. This is starting a new section is always a little bit makes me nervous. Makes me a little nervous. That's okay. I will get there. I will get it done. So I'm going to start dark, and I've got to really pay attention to this now. So let's just go get some oil on there, wipe it off. So we're going to start. Let's see if any of this is still good here. Yeah, it is. Good. So black takes a little while to dry, which is good for me. It gets pretty dark in there. I'm afraid to go too dark, but at the same time I want some nice contrast. It's not pure black, which I want to try to avoid because pure black always looks weird to me. Alright, let's get moving. And actually I need to, this is too high up. I need to move this down. This is going to be working up top here. Let's move that down a little bit. Alright, I think that's okay. I'm tempted to turn on an extra light, but I'm going to see how this works. It's funny because this section right here, it almost looks like there's, yeah, I think there is. It's hard to see it. It almost looks like there's just a slight bit of light on the edge here, but I'm not sure if I should ignore it or not. I'm going to ignore it for now, and if it doesn't look right, I'll fix it later. Alright, let's start. So, now I'm really paying attention to what I'm doing, paying attention to where the edges of my objects are, taking my time. My eyesight isn't as good as it used to be, unfortunately. So I tend to be a little more careful these days. I'm going to paint this on this side too. once I get this figured out a little bit, I'll be a little more vocal about what I'm doing. I know I'm going really slow right now. So right now, this, what I just painted, this black on the left and the right, that's repeated several times here. So I'm going to just pull that down again. Let's see. Get that on the top too, just a little bit up here. Yep. All right, that looks good. Now, do that on here. Paying attention to the shape that I'm working with. Now I'm seeing I might have to make a correction here. I'm not sure yet. I'm seeing a little bit of gray that's, I can make that a little wider. The background doesn't quite come up to the edge there, but I think I'm okay with it. I can fix that. All right. See, now this is where I'm talking about, you know, people who are really good at life drawing, still life drawing, drawing what they see. It takes time. So when I look at some of the Instagram posts, YouTube posts of people like magically drawing some things or painting some things, there's very few that I really believe. This is one guy who's this amazing pencil artist. I think that's his main medium, pencil, and he is super photorealistic. I'm really impressed with his work. But and I believe, I would dare say I know he is true to his craft. And I say that because the way that he expresses what he's working on, he is not just painting, or he's not just drawing pictures. He is suffering while he's drawing these things. He is so good and so detailed that he has come into situations where somehow either it's beyond his ability or he is so tired of, you know, and painting and drawing artwork can be a physically tiring thing, right? So when I see people who magically, you know, create things and suddenly it's just done, and you know, they're smiling the whole way through. This is not, I don't paint because I don't think I paint because I enjoy it. Let me put it that way. I think I paint because I have to be creative. I have to. It's not something I necessarily want to do. Sometimes I feel like it's such an incredible burden. See, so you can see here that edge, that background doesn't quite go up to the edge here and here. So I'm going to fix that. Make sure that it does. Well, see, now I'm questioning whether or not I drew that thing wide. I painted it wide enough. Could I go wider? Felt like that's where the edge was, but I might have been off, because I'm about the same on both sides. Yep, I'm gonna go wider. That's okay. So I'm gonna go out to here where I thought it should have been, down here. I've got to paint into that anyway, so. And I'm right down to there. I'll do the same thing here. And same thing here. That is the beauty of oil paint, is I can just paint over something if I make a mistake. So this I think should be out to here. Yeah, that's definitely where it should be. No problem. Now this brush, as I've said, is a super expensive brush. And what's funny about it is that it is labeled. If you look at watercolor brushes, that's in the store, at least in the United States anyways, you find it listed with watercolor brushes. When I don't think there's such a thing as a watercolor brush and an oil painting brush. It's what is the outcome you're looking for. A lot of times oil paint brushes are very coarse brushes, horsehair brushes and things like that. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with coarse brushes, but you can paint with soft brushes too, and you get a very smooth, excuse me, a very smooth result because of it. That's repeated down here again. So as I'm painting this, I am constantly looking back at my subject, looking at the details that I'm working on. Trying to make sure that I don't paint. I'm trying to make sure I paint as accurately as I can. All right, coming along. Oh. So, let's see. So now I'm going to go into the grays, I think. Yep. So now I'm going to get into these grays a little bit. And I'm just going to wipe off my brush a little bit. It's not really changing the a little more oil. And I'm going to go into this gray here. So there's a lot of little variations in this. These reflections. It's important. It's important for me to pay attention. You know, you might be. I'm actually kind of happy with that wash. That wash looks kind of fun to me. I'm okay with that. That might be your finished painting if you're happy with that. But I'm going quite a bit further with this. I don't want to take too long. I'm okay taking too long too. It's not important for me to rush. Seeing a different color in there. Let's see. Yep, that's fine there. Same color. No changes yet. But there will be shortly. I'm going to try to preserve as much of this gray as possible since it repeats throughout. Keep them covered up if I can. All right. Constantly looking back and forth at what I'm doing. And some of this is going to get blended, so I'm just like putting down a little bit so that I can take a blending brush in afterwards. All right. I'm going to work on this side because I see some different colors on that side that I want to wait to do. But I see mostly the grays over here. And I see some variances, grays and darker grays. So I'll be kind of going all over the place here. That's fine. Yeah, I know I'm quiet. I'm evaluating. I'm thinking about getting a slightly different color in there. Yeah, I'm gonna go. There's some brownish tints in there. I'm gonna take some of this from yesterday. I'll just put it over here on the side for now. I need to go a little lighter on that. Do I want oil on that? Maybe just a hair. Just a little bit. So this morning, it was, when I woke up, it was 8 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll have to look up what 8 degrees Fahrenheit is in Celsius. It's below zero. That's what I do know. It is cold. So my furnace is coming on quite a bit. Unfortunately, it's not something I can really change. Alright, and that's kind of the color that I see on the other side here too. Yeah, I think that's the color I see on the other side too. So it's kind of this color and the gray mixed in together. And it gets blended out afterwards. I'll do that in a minute. Gotta pay attention to the time. I've got a meeting at 9:30 my time. Always meetings, always meetings. People want to meet. I just want to paint. I just want to paint. Continue down the next section here. Need some oil on that. Always looking. And as I do stuff, I notice, pieces that I missed, areas that I could do better on. So I'm trying to keep those in my brain as I move around. Alright. So, now I see some darker sections in that. So I'll pull that over here a little bit. So on this side, that might be too dark. Well, I'll blend it out. That's no problem. I'll blend it out. Let's see. let's do some blending now. Put my brush down for a second. All right, let's get a small brush that I can blend with. Let's see, here's all my brushes. What do we got here? Something nice and small, but soft. Oh, this one's tiny. That might be a good one, actually. Let's put that one just in case I want to use that one instead. All right, let's try that one. It's super tiny. Keep it dry. And start looking at areas that I need to blend. Using a super tiny brush because I don't want to blend. There's some areas that are have harder lines than others. So I want to make sure that I maintain those. And we'll look at the shapes that I'm blending to, because it's not like the background where I can just kind of blend it out super fast. And there are specific shapes to these little pieces here and there. All right, and then this on the side, this is all blended out. And I'm understanding here that I'm going to have to go over all of this again for additional detail, okay? This is not the last time I'll touch this. Layer, layer, layer. Wipe that off a little bit. I don't want to transfer. I'm about to move from one side to the other. I don't want to transfer that around too much. All right, that's looking okay. I think I got a little too light over here. I can fix that afterwards. I actually might fix that right now. This is going to be a very long painting, I think. Excuse me. From how slow I'm going at the moment, this is going to be a very long painting. Well, hopefully not too long. We'll see. You know, and that's me getting into my own head about things. You know, I don't have to do that. I can say this is, I can rephrase it, right? I can say this is going to be something detailed. You know, this is going to be something I'm proud of. I tend to be a little self-defeating when I'm painting. I don't quite know why, but I do. I think it's probably common with many artists. It's a very quiet morning in the channel. Not very many people. It looks like afternoon sessions get a little more traffic, don't they? It's kind of funny. All right, let me blend that out again just a little bit here. I gotta get my malt stick. I might stop there for now. I'm a little tired this morning, and I know I've got a meeting coming up, so I don't want to get too. I do. I want to keep going, to be honest with you, but I already see it's 9 o'clock. So that's really all that we're doing is little by little making progress. Not a lot of progress. See, the background it's easy to do backgrounds like that. That's super simple compared to doing detail in that. So you just got to keep plugging away at it. That's all you can do. Keep plugging away. I feel like there's a mistake there. I'm gonna have to fix that. I might want to fix that now. Let me wash this brush off. And I'm going to go for, let me get some oil. Oil. Some of this, I think. So see, this looks like it's up too high. See, that's why oil paint is freaking awesome. That's much better. Looks more even, I think. Maybe. Yeah, that was fine. All right, coming along. That's all I can do. We'll keep moving forward, I guess. Let's see. I have an appointment this afternoon, so if I come back later, it will be. It might be as much as an hour later today. So, just so you know, I might be on later. If I'm feeling tired, I might not be on later. We'll have to see. But that's where we are. I think it's coming out just fine. A little nervous about it still, but I think I did fine today so far. or have more work to do. I'm going to leave it there. I am. This is actually kind of putting me to sleep this morning for some reason. So I think it's a good time to step away and maybe get another cup of coffee. And hopefully I'll be back this afternoon. Otherwise, have a great weekend. And thank you for joining. And happy painting. Bye.